Welcome everybody. It is Brian Devine here, and welcome to your Top Line Live at 5. Today we are talking about Schema Markup. And why are we talking about it? Well, because I've been working on it most of the day, and I want to make sure that you know what it is. Because I've realized that when working with clients, we spend a lot of time doing these things to websites that are designed to get you found in Google, to get you at the top of search results. And most people don't know what we're doing or the value of what we're doing, let alone the time involved in making sure it's done and that it's done right. And so I was in the process of working on some schema markup code and finding some errors and fixing them and making sure that we're delivering the best possible solution for our clients. And in that process, I thought, hey, let's talk about it on Top Lines Live at 5 today so that you know whether or not your website has it, and then, of course, what it is. So hopefully you've seen it in the description somewhere, but basically, a schema markup is specific code that you put on your website that tells search engines, and Google especially, exactly what your website is about. And you can do it in a way that you even say, hey, I'm a local business. Hey, I'm a dentist. Hey, I'm an orthodontist. Hey, I'm a chiropractor. I mean, you get to very, very, very specific about what you tell them so that they know when they find your website what everything is going to be geared towards, what it is about. And when you do that, you give yourself a bump. You give yourself a boost in search results because you are making it easy for the bots, the spiders that go around the web and find your website and crawl it and read everything and determine what it's about. So when you have schema, when you put that code on there, it's like a big billboard to those bots that says, this is what we're about. Put us on the page for these keywords. And it's really fairly straightforward to do. You just got to know how to do it. So I wanted to make sure that you had an opportunity to kind of see what this is all about. I'm going to switch my screens here, and hopefully we'll be able to see this. I want you to see this here. This is from Google. This is Google's structured data testing tool. And what it's doing is it's pulling all the structured data, and then it is determining what your website is all about. So you can see that when we put this particular website in there, it says this is a local business. You can preview it if you want to do a full preview, but essentially this is what caught my attention was a little warning, and it's here. It's because basically Google is saying, hey, if you're going to give us all this great information, why don't you also tell us about price range? And this is the kind of thing that we might just pull it right out of the code, or we might talk with the client and say, hey, let's make sure that we put a price range in there, and we want to know what your bottom range is, and we want to know what your top range is, and we'll put all that in there so that Google has every last little bit of detail. But you notice there's a lot of detail. There's all kinds of great stuff that we can put in there. So now here's one that I just grabbed, and let me I'm gonna get rid of that. I guess they won't let me get rid of that. I don't know. This is just a random site that came across my desk today, and I thought, hey, let's see if they've got the schema markup. And it says detected. It's showing what is detected, and that is nothing. So of course there's no errors, warnings, or items, but there's nothing here, and that means that you don't have schema markup. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with your site. It just means that you're not given every possible opportunity to say, hey, Google, this is what we are. We are local business. And I want to make sure that you know that. So I wanted to make sure that was pretty clear for you today. If you have questions about it, I love talking about this kind of stuff because it's relatively straightforward to do. And depending on the kind of website you have, we might be able to help you out really quickly. If you have a website that is, how do I put it, structured in a way that is not convenient to do schema markup, then we might be able to at least point you in the right direction and get you headed down the right path. It is highly valuable. It is not extremely expensive in order to put something like this on your site. So I recommend that you take the time, go to the Google structured data testing tool. I'll try to remember to put the link in here so that you can actually put your website in and see what it's telling you. And if you're seeing errors and warnings and things like that, well, at least you know that you have the structured data, that you have it, and then we can just fix it. All right, so that was it for today. I want to make sure that we covered that because it is a really huge advantage if you are one of the few people in your marketplace that have taken the time to put schema markup on your website. It's going to really help you out when it comes to